on Friday, and Shane began celebrating before the lap had even finished because he knew he'd nailed the time. Now, Mark Schaefer's over at the big screen. Schaefer, give us some insight into what drivers actually see in those moments to know they're up.
Yeah, so that's a really interesting one, Jess, because the insight is trying to understand the layout of the dash, because Shane was looking at the gains and losses on the bottom of the MoTeC screen to understand what was going to come up as a predicted lap time. So I'll just have a look at the MoTeC dash for you, because each of the drivers configure it differently. And this one right there, gain and loss in qualifying, is the key one. It'll also come up with a predicted lap time. So let's just look at how complex this is, because all the drivers are trying to slow this stuff down. But across the top, shift lights staged. It's also got brake lock and wheel spin warnings on either corner. It's got the normal RPM graph that the guys use. And the reason that RPM and road speed are used is if you've got a vibration or something wrong with a car, you can report that back to the pit and say it's 120k at 5,000 revs, for instance. Now, anti-roll bar settings on the left-hand side, obviously gear position, brake temperatures and fuel, they're used in different ways because, as I said, the drivers use different maps for different occasions. A race map is a different looking dash than a qualifying dash. The lap time in the end, as I said, that's the important part. And we're going to have a look at Chaz Mostert's lap from qualifying, because a lot of the things that happen in the setup for qualifying is all about getting the temperature of the tyre up, which comes from the brake temperature, dissipating that temperature out into the wheel and tyre. So this is a top 10 shootout lap for Chaz Mostert. He's obviously getting that brake temp up to understand the grip level, and the top 10 shootout, you can see there the stage lights there for pulling gears up to 5th gear into turn 1, and then you've got this ability to read the road and try to feel what grip level you've got, but at the same time understanding whether you've made a gain or loss versus a datum lap which is inserted in the car prior. So let's just stop it there. This is Wakefield Street. We've got under brakes into the first corner. There's the tyre temperature, so he's done a really good job of getting front and rear tyre temp up. He's done a nice job in the braking area to make a gain in the first sector immediately. And then you'll see in the back of here the little warning lights, the little brake lock and the wheel spin. This is up to turn 6. So you've got out onto the rev limiter now, up to 7. And again, the wheel spin and brake lock lights come on. Now, this is the run up to turn 8. I just want to stop it here because this is wild. 205 kilometres an hour, and all that dash stuff, don't pay one particular bit of attention to it. You are going to apply maximum focus to how you approach the car. And this corner is so important to minimise the brake input and minimise the steering input, but maximise the throttle on the exit of the corner and maximise the road. So don't worry about the dash, just worry about the corner. Check this out. Turn 8, one of the wildest corners. And every little bit of road. In fact, you got the curb on the inside and almost gave the fence a hit. Now, have a look at the brake temperatures. Almost 850 degrees as they cycle up into turn 9. That's one of the slowest corners. Now, to finish the sector, you've got to stop it again, and there's the left-hand front wheel locked. There's the predicted time, and there's how much you're up. So you've got to work out how committed, how much effort you put into the last sector to do the best job again in qualifying. All the road, every little bit. Stage lights come up and over the top for turn 13 into 14. Brake bias number, looking at making sure that you can get the car stopped. Inside front wheel locked again. Minimise the wheel spin. And have a look again. You come out of the corner. Nice gear shifts. You can lose 1/10 of a second. And as Jess said before, 1/10,000 separated them before on the qualifying on Friday afternoon. So that's a little insight into how busy the drivers are trying to do a good job of not only the lap, but understanding what's going on around them, especially using all those inputs from the dash.
Yeah, no joke, there's a fair bit going on. Thank you, Mark. Now, coming up on next week's show, Neil Crom